Hey guys, what's up? So today I'm going to check out the ckbucker from Corrigan Pickups. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so this is the third pickup that I reviewed from Corrigan that they sent me back a few months ago. The first two, you can check out those videos, I'll link them up here. But this is the ckbucker, and you'll notice that I'm editing out that word because, you know, bad words and monetization don't really work very well for advertising, but to be honest, it's probably one of the most massive sounding pickups I've ever played, and this is coming from a guy who did a dedicated review of the Seymour Duncan Slug, and I can tell you that whatever's going on here hits my interface, my digital audio converters, a bit harder than even the Slug does. But it's not like a super high resistance pickup either. It only comes in at about just shy of 17 kiloohms. But what it does have is a mix of Alnico 8 and ceramic magnets that create just a massive wall of sound. And so we're going to go ahead and play through the Mesa rectifier, the 50 watt version over here. I'll play some clean channel stuff just so you can kind of hear it. And then I'll jump over to the red channel and I'll throw in a few boosts and we'll do what I normally do. And bonus, if you saw my video a couple weeks back, I still have the Titanum 12 phantom power preamp thing in this guitar. And I just went ahead and wired that all together. So maybe I'll throw this on too and you can kind of see what a phantom powered, really high output pickup sounds like. Okay, so first up, I'm just on the ckbucker, and this is the clean tone I got coming out of my Mesa cab. As you can hear, Mesa Boogie isn't super known for its like crystal cleans, but this pickup also doesn't really do crystal cleans. It's got a lot of just output and it kind of is a lot of everything. The note definition isn't like muddy or anything. Now you might be asking, like, you know, something with such a massive output and seemingly what has kind of a pretty beefy low end, why put it in like a baritone guitar like this Firefly? Well, to be honest, sometimes I don't think that having a lot of low end and a lot of output is necessarily bad for baritones, especially for certain styles. Part of the reason why I picked the Mesa for today was because this is a very big, warm, kind of flubby, but kind of round sounding amp, and it kind of matches more with this kind of thing going on here. But the reality of it was when I saw the ckbucker up against the matte black here, I was like, this is the combination. This is the aesthetic. Like, tuning, whatever, it sounds fine, even with high output and really low tuning strings. I'm only in G sharp here. But just the look of this against the flat black kind of sold me on putting it in this guitar. Do I think for more modern styles, when you get into the distorted stuff, that something with a little bit lower output and a little bit more clarity is good, especially for like the djenty modern metalcore? Sure. But if you're going for fuzzed out or even doomy, big wall of sound metal, I think you're going to do well with this. And so let's move on to the Red Channel and get into some of those tones. Okay, so I'm on the Mesa Red Channel. I imagine you could probably hear the noise floor is increased a bit on my microphone capture here. So here's what I got for my standard Red Channel Mesa tone. making new leads, but it's not really meant for that. It is definitely meant for the heavy chugs. And if you hear in that, that sound clip there, what you're hearing is a lot of harmonic content, a lot of saturation. You're not getting like super hyper like note clarity. You're not getting like the really like super separated notes in the chords, but what you are getting is a very fat, warm sound. And I think that's good for certain styles for sure. Especially for those like sludgy, doomy tones, I think the uckbucker is definitely meant for that. If I turn on a boost, now, if you wanted to get this pickup to be a little bit more like in your face, kind of mid-focused, less big bassy sound, you could add something like the Pepper's Dirty Tree, which has got a Fortin 33 style circuit on one side, and it's a really classic thing to add in front of a Mesa Boogie to give it more of that modern flair, and this is what that sounds like. In fact, that might be a little bit over the top, just because with that circuit it adds drive plus the tone shaping up front, and I have the gain pretty high up on the Mesa, which I usually run the gain a little bit more than I would on something like an EVH. But a classic TS9 does kind of the same thing to get you more of that like mid-focus sound. Yeah, and so depending on what your style really is, something like the uckbucker could easily kind of be molded into what you need. It just has a lot of harmonic content to it, and if I roll the gain back a little bit on the rectifier and I add in another overdrive, maybe the SD1. Very nice, very cool focus sound. Without the overdrive. Very kind of round, flubby kind of Mesa thing going on. If I add the Titanum 12 preamp, the onboard preamp that I have installed here, again, go check that video out. It kind of does a similar thing. Just adds that little bit of top end, a little bit of bite, but it doesn't completely erase the low end kind of heaviness that this pickup has, like a boost pedal or some sort of overdrive tends to do. If I go ahead and engage the King in Yellow overdrive, it has quite a bit of that low end still, even with the low mids kind of pulled back like I normally have. So one of the cool things about the King in Yellow is it has a parallel effects loop that you can blend in other pedals, and if I engage the Swollen Pickle by Way Huge, into that, and I blend it in about halfway on that loop. If we engage that, we can get some pretty gnarly tones. Hopefully my noise gate can keep up. Probably not. That's just nasty. That's like over the top. But, you know, case in point, one of the cool things about this pickup is it's a rail configuration with the dual magnet configuration. You're getting a lot of harmonic content. You're getting a lot of that really strong magnetic field. And with the blades, you're getting a full sweep of all the strings at once. I don't think it sounds super muddy. In fact, I think it sounds pretty good for, you know, something with such a high hit you in the face output. Just massive. So I'll link to the product page in the description below where you guys can get this particular humbucker. There are a multitude of options that Padrig will do for you aesthetically, and I really like the red on black. I'll probably put like a red knob or something here, something to kind of tie it all together. Either way, Firefly Baritone 28-inch. They sent this to me, and I've been having fun just modding it out, and I think I'm going to keep with the bucker for a minute. So, anyway, that's my spiel. See you guys later.